I just wanted to start with the reactions. I mean, you've got some fantastic reactions out of Sundance and the reviews and everything. I mean, it must be great to have made a movie like this to get the reaction that you've got so far.
Of course. I mean, you're definitely not gunning for that, you know, but I don't know. I think I've spent so many years getting negative reactions out of what I've made that actually getting something positive, I still don't know how to process it. It seems very fresh and new. Yeah.
Has it been a long journey to get this one on?
Yeah, I mean, coming in October, it will have been 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I have a 4-year-old boy, and I think I got knocked up with Patti when my wife got knocked up with him. So yes, we've been on the journey together.
For a long time.
Yes.
For you, Bridget, I can imagine as an actor, you hope to get some good scripts. And this is a fantastic one. I can imagine it was an easy decision to say yes.
Not really.
No. She told me to get lost.
At first, I didn't want to do it, not because I didn't love the script, but I just was like, I'm more of a comedy-based performer, and so doing something dramatic was a new challenge for me, and I just was terrified. But Jeremy's like, let's just take the pressure off, and we're going to go to Sundance, which is where the film was like sort of in gestation, and I mean, obviously, I'm really happy that I did it, but it was a really cool experience. I always felt very safe.
Yeah,
so.
I wasn't gonna let her get away. It was like I saw Bridget, and I was like, that's Barb. There was no other option. So she tried to sneak away. I remember. She was, yeah.
No, I was having like nightmares thinking that Kathy Bates was going to get my part when they got funding. But I was like, you know, Kathy Bates can't sing.
Kathy Bates, she's aged out of the role.
Kathy Bates would have been fantastic. In
as
any
Barb?
Role. As any role. Any role. She could play any
Patti.
role. She could be Patti.
Kathy Bates as Patti.
Maybe you could do like a sequel 20, 30 years in the future, and it's Kathy Bates. That'd be fun. In terms of the story itself, I mean, I know you've been involved with music and everything before. Yeah. What was the kind of origins of the story?
I had, when I was 23 and I was living in Jersey and living a life very similar to Patti's in a way, you know, living with my parents and going nowhere. The character of Patti just popped into my head. So almost as in she was going to exist one day. You know, it was like, I was like, oh, there's going to be a pop star or a rapper from Jersey who's like some sort of female Tony Soprano or something like that. And she just stuck in the back of my brain, and 15 years later or so, when it was time for me to kind of set out this challenge to write my first screenplay, I didn't know what I was going to do, and then she came back into my brain, and you know, it's about where I grew up, and you know, I wanted to write all this music, and so it just was sort of a perfect storm for me to deal with all my issues and also kind of get out all this music that was in my brain.
What do you think it is a bit about these kind of movies, the kind of underdog movies? I think I saw an interview with you saying it's very similar to Rocky in many ways.
We were going to call it Stocky.
Stocky. That's a great title as well.
Yeah.
Why not? For both of you, I mean, what do you think it is about these kind of stories that people seem to love, no matter what kind of shape or form they come in?
Well, I think a lot of people are trapped in circumstances sometimes, and it's just exciting to see somebody that you kind of wish was you, like sort of floating outside of the jail that they're in or whatever they're in. You know, those are my favorite kind of movies. I love Rudy, Rocky, The Rookie, any of that stuff. It's right up my alley.
It's weird. I'm not super into the genre, which is strange.
It's weird.
Yeah, I just, you know, for me, it's about the characters, and I guess someone like Patti, you never really see, and you know, at the center of a film. You know, it's like someone like Patti would always be like the best friend character, or I don't know. So putting her at the center of a film, kind of on this hero's journey, just she's just a natural underdog. So yeah, that's the way it came. I've never seen Rudy. I know.
I think I've seen Rudy.
I know.
I know.
Oh dear. I was going to ask you both about Danielle. You from finding her and you working with her, because she's Australian. She's not from Jersey, and she had to learn how to rap and everything else. The performance she gives, you wouldn't ever.
No, people think it's a documentary or something. Yeah.
I mean, where did you find her, and how long was it to kind of get her into the process?
Yeah. So as Bridget was saying, we got into this thing called the Sundance Directors Lab, which is they choose 8 projects a year, and you go and live on this mountain in Utah for a month, and you know, Robert Redford's driving around on his motorcycle, and it's, yeah.
Side note.
In yes. Daisy Dukes. But when you do that, you bring actors. And usually they cast, you know, random actors and really great actors, but people that don't end up in the film. But because the characters are so specific in Patticake's, and because Patti herself is so, you know, she's got a particular look and a vibe that, you know, I was just trying to find that actress, and I didn't want to use a rapper or a musician. And so we looked for a while and couldn't find anybody, and I thought maybe I was going to have to stop, like the project just wasn't going to work, and maybe I wasn't going to go to labs. And then one of my producers remembered Danielle from her first film, The East, showed me a picture of her, and it was love at first sight. I mean, she looked exactly like Patti that was living in my brain, and looked just like the girls that I grew up with in Jersey, and just felt right. And so it was like winning the lottery a couple times in a row, because she came out, she looked beautiful, she photographed beautiful. I mean, she's like a, you know, she's got the face of a movie star. And then she's just a brilliant actress. And then, so she hadn't rapped before, but that didn't matter because I knew that she was gonna work to get there. And that's what I was looking for. Someone that was like gonna completely dedicate themselves to the role, because, you know, we didn't have any money at that time. It was gonna take a couple years, and that's what she did. She completely dedicated herself to becoming this Jersey girl. And morphing it, because her personality is so different than Patti's, you know, it's a real metamorphosis.
Yeah. What was it like to be next to her when she was doing it? She had a great chemistry as well as mother and daughter on screen.
Danielle is like super open. She's like the person you want to sit down next to your first day of school. She's just immediately, you're just immediately friends with her. But I also felt kind of maternal towards her, which is weird because I'm not motherly at all. But she's just somebody that you love and you want to protect. And I just immediately knew that, like, if I was ever going to do this kind of thing, I could do it with her and with Jeremy. And she's a total pro and made me so much better.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey You Guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yeah.
Nice.
Hey You Guys!
Do you have any kind of films that you love that you would love to star in if there was a remake or they made another one, or for you to
The only thing that comes to mind right now is I'd like to do a feature version of the November Rain video by Guns N' Roses.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, maybe. It's a very, I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it's quite mysterious. You don't know what the hell is going on in that video. Like, Axl Rose is getting married to, I can't remember her name, she's like a big 80s model. They have this wedding. Slash forgets the wedding ring, then goes outside and plays a guitar solo outside a church. The church in the scene, when they're inside, is humongous, and then he walks out and the church is about this big. He plays a guitar solo, then they have a party, it rains, the bride dies, and they're at a funeral. Like, maybe she's like the Wicked Witch of the West or something like that, like rain melts her, but I think there's a lot to dig in there. So yeah, I'd like to do the feature version of November Rain. That's cool. Maybe bring it to Broadway.
There you go.
Yeah.
Is there any parts you'd love to play that have gone in the past, maybe?
Go with me here. If they did Sister Act 2 again, and you can imagine a 45-year-old woman playing the part of a young 17-year-old Lauryn Hill, I'd like to get my fingers into that.
I'd like to see that. Do it. Sister Act 3, you and Whoopi. Do it together.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Guys, thank you so much for your time.
Man. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
Thanks.